Have you ever wanted to know the process of creating some of your favorite cosmetic products? Today we'll be doing a DIY version of Kylie Jenner's Wizard of Oz lip oil. This is going to be exciting because the lip oil has been discontinued. Creating this lip oil was pretty challenging. I wanted to mimic it as close as the formulation, but using the most natural ingredients. I also wanted this to be very beginner friendly so that you can be able to create this from the comfort of your home. If you're ready to learn how I was able to create this DIY dupe, stay tuned. Just to recap, here is the lip oil that we're going to be recreating. It's by Kylie Cosmetics, the Wizard of Oz Transformative Lip Tint. So this is an emerald green lip oil that's going to go on as a pink lip stain. Here is a breakdown of what Kylie's lip oil contains. So the first ingredient is going to be coconut alkanase. That's going to be replaced with fractionated coconut oil. Squalane, we're going to be using sugarcane squalane. Ethylene oleate is going to be a fatty acid ester. I'm going to go ahead and use castor oil. Ethylene stearate is also going to be like a lubricant additive. I'm going to go ahead and use a sweet almond oil for that one. And then hydrogenated stearin is going to be ingredients that's similar to Versa Gel. So we are going to be using a Versa Gel base because it's going to add viscosity to the lip gloss. Cocoa caprylate is going to also be a skin conditioner. So we're just going to go ahead and use avocado oil in the replacement. Of course, we're going to go ahead and use shea butter. Ethylene linoleate is also going to be an anti-inflammatory. Ethylene palmitate is going to be a skin conditioner and a lubricant. And then the benzoate is going to be a solvent preservative. So for the process of creating our lip oil that we're going to be creating today, I went ahead and used different carrier oils in order to replace some of the synthetic ingredients. So before we begin, you definitely want to have these color killer wipes. This is going to be really helpful because we are going to be using Tkb's color changing pigment colorant. That is going to be highly staining. So of course you're going to need your Versa Gel lip gloss base. This is from DIY Creations. I got it from Amazon. Our castor oil, my favorite oil. We're going to use coconut oil, avocado oil, and squalane oil. This is a really great oil. Also sweet almond oil. Our ivory shea butter. I love shea butter a lot. Our flavor oil, which is going to be strawberry, and our preservative by Tkb, our green colorant, which is going to be mica, and of course the color changing pigment. Please be careful with this. As always, you're going to need all your equipment, which is going to be of course your scale and your beakers. To start off, we're going to go ahead and start off with the coconut oil first to measure out. We are going to be creating a 30-gram batch. And so you're going to need 4.50 grams of fractionated coconut oil. You can scale up this batch if you desire, but this is the amount that I wanted to create. So the coconut alkanase is just going to be derived from hydrogenation of fatty acids from coconut oil. So it's used inside of products as a solvent, skin softening emollient. So for me, I just went ahead and replaced it with fractionated coconut oil. So we're going to place this to the side and measure out our next ingredients. So you want to go ahead and measure out the squalane. The squalane is going to be at 3 grams. I really love sugarcane squalane because it is a very good oil. I love to use it in my ingredients. It's non-comedogenic. Please do not get this confused with squalene because that's one is going to be derived from whales and it's not really a good oil to use. I like to measure these out separately and then just go ahead and pour it in as I go because I don't want to accidentally go over, because if you pour everything in all at once, if you go over with any of the oils or ingredients, it's going to be hard to get it out. And of course, my favorite oil, castor oil, the deepest penetrating plant oil, a really great cosmetic oil that you want to use inside of your lip care products. We're also going to be adding this in at 3 grams as well. So castor oil is a great mixture of saturated and unsaturated fatty acid esters that are linked to glycerol. So this is going to be a really great oil to use. Next is going to be avocado at 0.90 grams. This is a great skin conditioning oil. It's a really great oil. Of course, all carrier oils are going to be anti-inflammatory, a great skin conditioner, a great lubricant for the skin. So these are going to be really great interchangeable replacements, again, for like the synthetic oils that she used inside of her lip products. And the fact that she has synthetic ingredients does not make the product bad. Synthetic ingredients inside of skincare products can be more beneficial than natural ingredients, especially if you're making it at a larger batch, because they have more stability and consistency when you're formulating inside of a lab setting. And it also allows precise measurement of active components, which can maximize the efficiency of the product. So next we're going to be measuring out shea butter. It's going to be at 0.60 grams. If you have shea nut oil, you can use shea nut oil. They do sell that on Amazon. Next, we'll be measuring out the sweet almond oil, which is going to be 1.80 grams. Typically, I would do a no heat method with this since we're just combining all the oils, but because we have a little bit of shea butter inside of it, we do have to melt this down in order to get the shea butter to be also melted into an oil form as well. So now it's all measured out, we will go ahead and use a double boiler method in order to melt all the ingredients together. Now for the next part, we're going to be measuring out our Versa Gel base. We are going to be using 15.60 grams of Versa Gel. So this is the amount that I wanted to use, but if you wanted to have a little bit more thicker base, you can add per 5 grams after you mix the oil and the gel, the Versa Gel base together, just to see the consistency first. After that, you can add 5 grams until you get the consistency that you desire. And the reason why I'm saying 5 grams is because it's going to be specific to the pigment colorant. That's the reason why, and I will elaborate a little bit later on about that. So here is our Versa Gel. I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to show you my quick DIY how I did this. I could not find any green lip gloss tube, so I went ahead and decided to create this my own. You know, I just love to go ahead and use a quick rhinestone to add it. I'm not going to do this in complete entire DIY for you guys. I'm just going to show you quickly how I did it. Okay, now that this is all melted, we are going to go ahead and pour our oil into our Versa Gel base, and we are going to mix and stir this together. So I chose the consistency of this because it's a lip oil that she has formulated. It's not really designed to be a lip gloss, so I didn't want it to be as glossy, but I didn't want the lip oil to be runny. Now we're going to go ahead and add our preservative and our flavor oil. So the preservative is going to be added in at 0.30. The flavor oil is also going to be added in at 0.30 as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and continue stirring this up together until it's all incorporated. So next we are going to be measuring out the color changing pigment. I am going to be using a disposable container for this. This is what it looks like. You can go on the website. It does have a ratio that you should use per 5 grams of base. That's why I said if you decide to add an extra 5 grams, you are going to have to replace the pigment. So this is why I suggest that if you want to thicken the base, do it before adding the pigment. I am using the lowest amount as far as the pigment goes because I do not want it to be bright. So I am using 0.1 grams and it is going to be a very small amount. So this is going to equal out to being about 0.5 grams. I was trying to add a little bit more without going over too much, but yeah, you really don't need a whole lot of this because it is very highly staining. It's very bright if you use too much of it. So I know y'all are looking at this and seeing that there's such a tiny amount, but trust me, I guess it all depends on the desired amount that you want. I do not want it to be bright, so I want it to be the lightest color pink possible. And you always want to go ahead and add the color pigment in before adding any colorants or micas, because if you do the micas first and then you do this pigment, it will change the color of your lip gloss. It will have like this tannish look to it if you use too much of this color changing pigment as well. So now I'm just adding in a hint of mica. I don't want to do too much mica as well. I just want it to be enough to make the emerald color, because if you use too much mica, the mica color will go on the color of the mica, so it will go on green. Trust me, I've tried this and that's why I'm trying to make it as subtle as possible. I'm not exactly sure if she used, she didn't use mica, so I know she used like color pigments in order to get the color, but I just wanted to go ahead and do the easier version and just do some mica because the micas also have shimmer and shine as well. I feel like this is a nice color, emerald green. It's not too bold, but just right, the perfect amount of color green. So I'm happy with this. By all means, you can play around with this and do the desired color pigment that you want, but trust me, if you use too much, it's going to be too much pigment inside of it. So now it's just time to go ahead and jar up the product. Again, I like pouring mine inside the container simply because that's just the easiest way. If you want to use a syringe, you can. I always keep the availability of the Q-tips so that I can go ahead and wipe around and clean the edges. And so there you have it. That's the first tube, and this is what the lip oil looks like. It's nice and glossy. So there you have it. That's our beginner-friendly DIY dupe it of Kylie Jenner's Wizard of Oz lip oil. I will show you what it looks like on me. I was a little tired, so yeah. But the color is very, very faint and light because this is the color I wanted. I played around with it for a while, and this is the pink that I was happy with. It is a little bit more pinker in person, but that's what I wanted. So as always, I'll leave the recipe inside the description box. Let me know if you decide to try this easy beginner DIY dupe it. Until next time, I will see you later.